This month, June 2022, we teamed up with REBOE to release All We Got Is Us 2, a full-length graffiti video now available on our Patreon. The video runs 53 minutes long and features parts from TD, Dessa MTA, SMO, REBOE, BAT, XSM, Asset, Deck 2DX, Rehab Iraq, Charlie the Hustler, OJ Skid, Zam, Volvo, CO, ZERS, Panic, Talker, Xaver, South, Anger, BO, Snens, and MTNW. The entire video was recorded on Hi-8 tape, paying homage to graph videos of the past with a mix of both old school legends and active writers from New York's current scene. Lots of work went into this video, and we are super proud to be releasing this project with REBOE. The video will not be made public for a very long time and is available only via our product tier on Patreon. Each month, we provide our members with products like silver mops, books, sticker packs, and prints. The video is available to all of our members on our product tier. We also have new episodes from REBOE LNE and ZERS OTL on our Patreon. These are available on our lower tier, which gives access to our entire episode library. Interviews from Dessa MTA, Mike Iraq, Bat, Ola, REBOE LNE, ZERS, Sabe KST, Wayne COD, Diego127, Dual Risks, Host 18, XSM, Cash 4, Les YKK, and Sake. Members also gain access to AZ Radio, conversations of Z and I speaking on topics from graffiti to mental health, martial arts, fasting, and the modern world. The link to our Patreon is in this episode's description. Once again, immense thank you to everybody who's ever shown us an ounce of support, and to anyone who watches the video, we thoroughly hope you enjoy it. Angel and Z Radio is now getting the support of PRIMO. PRIMO is a graffiti shop that was started by writers for writers in Seattle 2001, and they've stayed true to their roots for over 20 years, offering everything from ink, paint, refillable mops, zines, books, and more. Their videos from over 9 years ago were really ahead of their time. I would watch the videos they'd upload around 2010, and at the time there was really nothing like them. They dropped videos with writers like Arab, Lunch, Gusto, and MQ, which influenced writers all over the globe. These videos were edited and dropped in a way that was unique to PRIMO style. We have infinite gratitude to be getting their support. The PRIMO crew strives to always keep prices low and quality high. They hand pour all their mops and inks in their Seattle warehouse, ship orders on the same day, and their site is really a source of information for all types of writing tools. They approach their product demos with the DIY style that is so embedded in graffiti culture, providing information on how to make caps fit on different valve systems whenever the spray paint brands switch their valves, videos on making ink from methyl violet and purple primer, as well as featuring products they carry unique to PRIMO, like spray paint that can be used in the pouring rain, their custom-made caps that can turn regular cans into ultra-wides, or their solid silver paint markers. A lot of these products you cannot buy anywhere else because PRIMO makes them themselves. We cannot express our gratitude enough and are proud to be getting PRIMO support. Link to all their stuff will be in this episode's description.
Yeah.
So what's good, bro? Where are we at right now?
We're in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's been a while. The last time we saw you was when?
When I was living in Massachusetts, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So right now you're living in your RV again.
Yep.
And how's that been?
I can't begin to explain how much I love it, you know? Became like a healthy obsession, you know? I was clean for a while ago. I got clean in 2014, and then in 2017, I started watching van life and shit like that, and then I discovered like RV living, and I went and bought the RV, and I lived in it for the most part, like all this time. But you know, I also lived in Massachusetts with my girlfriend at the time, and I lived in Florida for a little while, like in a normal apartment. But I fix this thing up all the time. I love all the gadgets. I love solar. It's the best decision I ever made was getting the RV. For me, it's a small space, right? And it's tailored to the way I live, so it will be uncomfortable for anybody else. Really, I'm a loner, so and I have a dog, Coco Bean. You know what I mean? I have Coco, so like I don't really have visitors. Like Coco's protective of me. I can't. I had a girl come over twice, and the dog was like not having it, and but I mean, truthfully, I'm not into like relationships. I don't like people in my space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to live with women. I don't. I never found someone that I enjoyed to be around with 24/7, and I'm sure that nobody enjoys being around somebody 24/7. So I mean, they say a dog's a man's best friend. So I'd rather live with Coco.
Well, actually, that's something I wanted to talk about, because last time we seen you, as soon as we dipped, you dipped, and then you went and you got Coco. So what's the deal with that? How did you get Coco?
Yeah, so when we shot the last episode in the RV, the second you pulled off, I pulled off, and I went to go see Coco. And I could go on and on forever. So I want to state that I was never a dog person, ever, right? I'm a neat freak. Dogs usually, from what I know, are dogs that I had, especially puppies, they tear shit up. They shed. They're like a huge responsibility. And I'm going to be the first one to say, like, I haven't been a very responsible person in my life. And I'm at terms with that. That's why I'd rather be alone and irresponsible, if that's what I want to do. I don't want to have to, I don't have children, and it's for that reason, right? But I'm alone, so I get lonely, right? And when I say lonely, it's not like a sexual thing or like, I just, let's touch on this, man. Most of the time that I had a girlfriend, which I always had a girlfriend from 5th grade to basically like recently, right? To me, it's like more bad times than good. You wake up in the morning, like if you hop in the car and you put on the radio, like they don't want to hear what you're listening to. It's like it just starts like that. You know what I mean? Different places of coffee, or it's never really in sync. And for the people that have found someone that they're in sync with, you're very lucky. But I haven't. That hasn't been my experience. There's been a lot of it's almost like abuse. It's like abusive talking or behavior, and I'm guilty of the same thing. I'm not saying like I am who I am, and I could and I could be offensive also, and selfish, and not, and I know that, and that's just the way people are. Everybody is who they are, and like I said. But anyway, with Coco, right? So you pulled off. I was getting lonely, and I went to see Coco. And the guy brought her outside, and she did not pay attention to me at all. And the guy gave me her stuff, and she got in the truck with me, and she cried the whole way home. Now, she came from a big house, and they said that she was good with kids, and she was a very loving dog, and she was trained. Coco never went to the bathroom in the house since I had her, ever. And I left to go to work for long periods of time. Off the leash, she listens to me. She kind of listened to me from day one, but let me tell you what happened. So I get Coco. She's crying on the way home, and we get home, and I live in a like in a box, right? There's like no room. So I took out the bed and I laid in bed so she could like sniff around and get familiar. And I opened the bed and I laid down and she like sniffed two things and she jumped right in the bed and laid her head like on my neck and chest, right? With like her paws on my chest, like all on me. And I found that very strange, right? And it's a fucking pit bull too. So I was like a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you don't know if like, you know, you put your face near theirs. Like, you know, my mom had like a little Shih Tzu. And if I went too close to its face, it would like go to bite my nose hard, you know? Like go to really bite me. So like, you know, I was like a little afraid. I can only imagine, you know, how she felt, you know? But I never really gave like, even that I'm thinking of her feelings is like crazy, but I'll tell you what winds up happening. She lays on me and ever since then we've been like inseparable, right? But I started to notice that she was like she loved me a lot. Like after the first couple weeks, like she would just like, if I was sitting in a chair, she would just like look at me and stare. You know, my sister has a pit bull forever. She had like multiple dogs, and she was like, that dog really loves you. I could tell by like, and you know, I didn't really know. So, you know, I put everything on Instagram, and people would be like, Charlie, that dog really loves you, right? But what people don't see, because I want to put the, you know, a Ring camera or something, some type of cameras all in all angles of the house, because like what, it's kind of unbelievable, I think, to me, and probably I can only imagine to other people, is like, bro, she loves me so much. Like she like hugs me all day. Like if I'm in bed, she like the way she lay, it's like almost like boyfriend and girlfriend. It's weird, bro. Like at night, like she puts her arms around me like sideways, and we're like that. She goes under the blankets with me. I know a lot of dogs don't like that from talking to other people. Like, so she is very vicious. It made my life very difficult because I can't really go nowhere now. You know what I'm saying? I can't sleep out. I can't bring her anywhere. There's like a camping trip coming up, like my friends are going on. I can't go because I can't bring the dog because there'll be other dogs there. And like she might get along with other dogs, but every time I brought her out, she like bit somebody. And I brought her to the vet to get her nails clipped. And like the vet, you know, they were like, you can't be in sight because if like you're in sight, she's constantly in protect mode. So I have to like step out of the way and like I had a muzzle on her and they couldn't cut her nails. But me, like I could do anything to her. I like push her over. She just lays down and, you know, belly rubs.
Like she has a soft spot just for you.
Yeah, it's like, it's really intense. It's not, I don't even feel like I don't feel like it's even normal. Like that's how much love, you know what I mean? Like it's not, it's a little like above and beyond, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they say that like dogs can feel, or like animals in general, they can feel like empathy for people or like feel their vibe, you know what I mean? So she probably sees that like you've been chilling alone, like you prefer solitude, so she probably respects that in a way, you know what I mean? Like observing your way of life.
Yeah, she's a very happy dog. And, you know, I talk to her all day long like a person. I'm alone 24 hours a day for many, many years, pretty much. Because even like when I had a girlfriend, like, you know, I lived there for a short time and then we fight and then I leave. And I don't know. Yeah, it's just like we're together 24 hours and I talk to her like a person. She eats everything I'm eating. And I know sometimes like I post like, you know, my attitude was, and it might be like, this is how I looked at it. Like, dogs eat their own shit. They eat their own shit, right? They lick other piss coming out of dogs, like, and then I'm feeding, you know, my dog like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and like people are like, "Oh my God, that's so wrong," and the thing with Coco is, right? I think Coco was like really abused, right? Because after some weeks, I took a hanger off, and she was very afraid of the hanger. She's scared of water. She's you know, scared of certain things. And she's sketched out for a reason. Right?
Yeah.
So I pour all my love into Coco, man. If I'm eating ice cream, Coco's eating ice cream, right? And people is like, you know, eventually she's gonna get sick and die, and so am I, right? And if if I could spoil her, like not unhealthy, but I mean like if I could spoil her, and she dies at 8 instead of 9.5, I prefer that. I'd rather her live it up, and you know, it's just she's supposed to sit there and watch me eat everything, and like that's like torture for a dog. To me, in my opinion, it's my life. It's like my kid. I'll raise it the way I fucking want. You know what I mean? I give Coco everything within reason. I look up what's bad for them, like avocado, certain shit. I don't give them that. But like, what people don't realize either is like chocolate is very bad for dogs. But you think you this is funny, right? Because people don't know this. You guys might know this. No chocolate that we buy in the store is really chocolate anyway. Like a Snickers bar.
Mm-hmm. There's like a small percentage of chocolate in there.
Yeah, it's not even like, it's not chocolate. And a lot of things that you think are chocolate are not chocolate.
They're just chocolate flavored.
Chocolate flavor. You know what I'm saying? Chocolate flavor, but it's not the real thing. So yeah, if it ate some acai or whatever the fuck it is, yeah, maybe. But you know, but the shit, like if you're getting ice cream, like cookies and cream, those ain't chunks of chocolate, bro.
So how is having Coco affected your sense of solitude when you're living in this RV, this box alone, small space, all tailored to you, and having just a living thing that, you know, cares about you, is attached to you? Like you said, your life has to change.
Well, I'm a loving thing, and I'm attached to her. You know what I'm saying? Like I love. Listen, check this out, and I'm being dead ass serious, right? When I leave to go to the store, to a meeting, whatever I'm doing, I miss Coco, man. You know what I'm saying? I miss Coco when I leave the house. I want to be with Coco 24 hours a day too. So, you know, I decided like even like, bro, I work from home now. Like I'm just with my fucking dog, and that's it. I mean like. And this is coming from a person that did not like. I'm not saying that I didn't like dogs. I just, they were like they were more like an annoyance to me, right? Like to me, cats are extremely annoying. They do whatever the fuck they want. They do not listen. They knock shit over. You know, so like that type of shit gets on my nerves because I'm a very particular person. Everything has its spot. You walk into my RV, it's spotless. I don't walk in there with my shoes on. I don't get my shower rug wet. Right? My dirty laundry's up. I grab my dirty laundry, I throw it on the floor, and I step on that, and I get that wet. Instead of like, you know, I have like everything gotta be neat and clean and crispy. You know, because that's what I enjoy looking at. When I'm sitting on that couch, I want to see crispiness and beauty, and you know what I'm saying?
It's like art.
I don't want to see fucking shit looking fucked up, man. You know what I mean?
It's amazing that you found a companion. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, especially with RV life or like van life, it seems for the average person like a nice idea for a while, especially if you're doing it alone. But then eventually, I feel like we've talked about this, me and Angel, a bunch of times, how humans deep down, we are social creatures, and there comes a point where we do need like a companion or someone to kind of talk to at least. So it's amazing that you found someone. Like, did you ever feel like it would get to a point where you just couldn't be alone in a way, like doing this? Or
as far as what, like be alone, like
how long do you think you could just live alone in the RV? Or you
think I thought like I didn't see, the thing is, right, is that I could get lonely, right? And then I go out and socialize, and then I realize, well, I'm lonely, right? I'm guilty of the same thing. I think most of the people are. Everybody is extremely selfish, right? Including myself. Everybody has a motive. People, you know, when they do nice things for you, they're keeping tally. You know, I have people that done a couple things for me. Some things even half-ass, and I could not live that down. They will bring it up every time. And people don't respect time. in general, someone's time, right? They have no care in the world how long they have you waiting or where I'm at mentally. Like, I stopped writing. I took off from Instagram, all that shit for a year, right? That was to better myself, right? I didn't better myself. So I came to the, right? I went by my government name. I did this for a year, right? And I wanted to commit suicide, man. I worked at UPS. And I went off the deep end, man. I started drinking. I started getting high. Now, I quit that corporate shit. I'm doing art for a living, and I wake up dancing and singing. Now, the thing that prevents me from doing this long term is fear, right? If you're not in tune, at the end of the day, right, I am going to be okay no matter what. I'm going to be okay. But my head will talk me into, it would say, man, Charlie, you can't sell art for a living, man. You can't do that. You better go get a job, bro, before you get behind the bills. And out of fear, I will do that. And then I will get a job I hate. And then I will hate my life, hate myself, and then I don't want to live. I get to the point where I don't see the point in anything. Like if I'm working, right? So the goal was to be a driver for UPS, right? I got to experience that, right, by working through peak season and helping out a driver, right? So from working my shift from, let's just say I went out with the driver from early in the morning to late at night. Typical day for a UPS driver, right? It's all time. It's by seconds, right? You have to deliver the package, everything, your seatbelt, 13 seconds, right? We're talking by the second, and you're monitored, right? They work through their break, they work through their lunch, they run around like maniacs, right? There's all these fucking rules and all this pressure, right? And the truck's a mess. You have fucking like people loading the trucks it's just like it's a difficult. I'm gonna just say this. I don't see the point. So I gotta be at work at 8:15, right? That means I gotta wake up at least 6:30, right? So I'm working from 6:30. Right? Pissing in a bottle in the back of the van. You can't use bathrooms, all this shit, right? And you're not eating. And you're getting home at 7, 8, 9. And so you're leaving your house at 6, getting home at 9 o'clock at night. What type of existence is that? Like, I don't want to live that way, bro. At all. And I never did. And I've always worked, and but you know what? I just don't see the point. I don't want to live that way. And like where I live now, I have a deal with where I live to take care of certain things, certain property. Like I paint, clean up dog shit. You know what I'm saying? Sweep, mop the house, whatever it takes, right? And I have my trailer payment. So that's very little. My bills are very low, and I'm extremely happy, man. Like I don't want a Lamborghini. I really don't want that. I just want to be happy and free, right? And free, that don't mean run around the town. It means not. I don't want to feel tied down, man, to anything. Like I just want to do what I want to do, and what I want to do is hang out with Coco, eat ice cream, drink lemonade. You know what I'm saying? I do want to change my diet again, start eating better. I want to make dope graffiti. And I also want to, I like making people happy with my graffiti. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sell my canvases pretty fucking cheap, like $150. You know what I'm saying? Those shits are good on the wall. You know what I mean? So, and it makes other people happy. I hook their shit up. And it's like, it's hard to make people feel good when you're around them all the time, but if you could do something nice for somebody, like somebody gets something from me, and I bless them with mad shit, and they're like, oh my God, dude, thank you so much, fucking blah, blah, blah. And I have that coming in multiple times a day. I'm taking care of my mental and spiritual state. You know, my life is, that's like when like I feel like I'm in heaven. Like right now, I'm not. I'm not tied down to none. I'm just like, it's just me and the dog. You know what I mean? And
You keep things simple.
I keep things very simple, and I want to keep it simple. And when I let people in my life, it complicates it, and I complicate theirs at the same time. It's not, I'm very aware.
So actually something that I wanted to ask you about is, I have so many questions and things to say about what you just said, but one of them is, what initially spawned you getting that job at UPS? Like, how did that all start?
All right. Growing up my whole life, right? I said this the first. I was told to be a garbage man, told to work at UPS, get a city job, drive a bus, right? So believe it or not, no matter how resistant I am to that, it's embedded in me, right? So every time I'm not working some type of job like that, I feel guilt and shame. Personally, it's not like about my mom or like, I just feel like I'm not being like human almost, right? And everybody knows I'm as resistant as they come. But if you're brought up hearing that shit your whole life, like you gotta work for the city, like and then you become an adult. It's like that. You see that Geico commercial with the people turning into their parents? Like I love that commercial. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. And it's like, you kind of get older and all those things start to come out of you, right? So I had a job. I was painting houses. It was all right. I was getting fucked on that too financially. Like, people shave hours here and there. People will rob a nickel from you any way they could. I'm always suffering, man. I do all this night shit for people. And like, people ask me, yo, Charlie, could you do this? Could you promote this? Could you wear this? Could you do that? And I do it, and I don't see fucking nothing, ever. Not a dime. I'm starving. Sometimes I have to, ask for help with Coco, with dog food from friends and shit like that. I really, But where are we at?
I'm just asking how you decided to go for a job at UPS.
So I was painting houses, and growing up, I heard UPS is a really good job. And when I was painting houses, there was younger guys that were coming in, and a couple of them have worked at UPS and quit. And now they were working for the painting company. And I was like, damn, man, UPS, I thought, right? I'm like, UPS is a really good job. They have benefits. Like, these kids must be suckers. Like, it's backbreaking. We'll get into that because I had no idea. But it was lunch break. I said, fuck it, let me apply. And I'm a felon, all that. I applied, and they, like, gave me a fucking not a start date, like what is that, orientation. Like, oh, you got the job, you're hired, your orientation September 16th. I was like, oh shit. I told my boss, you know what I'm saying, I quit. He was pissed. And I went to UPS because somebody told me that I needed to stop living off the government, right, and being like a taker, and I need to be a tax-paying citizen if I ever want to be responsible and own a home and, things like that. Now, I don't want to own a home. I want to live in an RV, I think, for the rest of my life. But from my experience in life, that could change tomorrow, and I could want fucking a home. I could wind up married. Anything could happen. So you want to be prepared. Mm-hmm. So, and then I'm older, too. I'm in my early 40s. I'll be 43 June 8th, man. So, I mean, like, I'm at an age now where, like, you're saying, damn, like, what am I going to do? I have no retirement. I don't have these things. But so I went to UPS, and you go in at 12 o'clock at night, right? Now me, right? They have me pushing bulk. Bulk is huge carts, long carts, full of, like, home gym systems. 160 pounds, right? A cart, with who knows how many, a lot. It's a big, long fucking cart, stacked mad high, and it's everything on it's mad heavy. And you push this cart all around this fucking building, and you have to, like, I'm short. I used to have to knock the fucking Chuck Norris home gym system off because you can't fucking. So, this is another thing I gotta say. When you go to the post office, right, or UPS, anything, and you tell them like don't bend this or it's fragile, nobody looks at that. Them shits are coming down the line. People, I swear to God, it comes down the line, down a conveyor belt. They're like this. That's what this shit looks like. That's what they're doing with your packages. They're throwing them top belt, bottom belt, behind the back. They come down the belt like this, and they're like this, and they're mad nice at it. I have a video of somebody. So that's what happens to your packages. So, like...
Yeah, they don't care. They're
there's
desensitized
but
to
it happens so, like, it goes, bang, and the fucking floodgates open, and there's hundreds of boxes coming at you 100 miles an hour. People are literally like, phew, 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 phew. It's sick. It's like an art, right? But me, they had me doing bulk. Of course, the hardest job you could have. And at first, they made me feel like it was an honor. They were like, oh, we trust you to walk around the building, right? So after some months of this, like I lost like mad weight. I felt good, but it was dangerous. Like, it was like, bro, you shouldn't be pushing bulk every day.
Yeah, no.
So I started going to supervisors. They started, they had like a name for me, Tony Tires, all the shit, because I had all the tires, and it became like a joke. And I'm like, how many, like, I can't do this no more, man. I can't do this all day, every day. And then I had to be like, man, fuck, I'm 5'3", man. I'm a fucking 150 pounds. Like, you have, yeah, I'm tough and I'm strong in a way, but like, there's weight classes for a reason, man. Like, I can't, it's hard work. People were getting hernia, all this shit every day. People had heart attacks on the fucking job. I mean, like, everyone's miserable, man. Mm-hmm. And like, I was clean at the time, and now I'm working overnights. Now I can't go to my nighttime meetings, right? I stopped going to meetings. I'm working next to a kid on the conveyor belt one day, right? As they put me in because someone had a piss, right? I'm doing that, and he's like, yo, man, like, I don't know how you do. You should take an Adderall. And I love Adderalls. And I was clean 9 months. But I hated my life, man. Wasn't happy in life. With everything I had going on, I was not happy, right? And now I'm not going to meetings. Now the people that I went to meetings with are mad that I'm not going to meetings. So now I'm not talking to them. Now I'm like, fuck you, to my best friends and my family. Fuck you. And now I isolate in my trailer alone with the dog. Now it's me and the dog. Fuck everybody. Now I'm full of anger, full of hatred. I hate my life. I hate myself. I'm not going to say I hate everybody else. I'm not that type. I'm like a self-harm type dude, right? I'm not going to like really hurt nobody else. So, I winded up fucking taking Adderall. And then I winded up drinking. And then I winded up fucking, relapsing. But it all came from somebody telling me you should be a tax-paying citizen and you should start thinking about your future.
So that's the one thing, right? It's like these jobs are really, really crazy, but they're kind of expected. And if you don't like it and you complain, you're seen as like the odd one. But I don't really think it's odd.
This is what happened.
I think any analytical person would be like, yo, this kind of sucks, bro.
This is real life. This is what happened. They're like, yo, when peak season comes, your paycheck's gonna be G's. So they hired me for $16.50 an hour, right? When peak came, they upped it to $19.50 an hour. Now they told me, when you work your night shift here, the 5 hours, then you go out on the truck. After 3 hours, you get time and a half. You get paid more than the driver. So, bro, I was telling the drivers, I want to stay all shift. I was going out with them from 10 in the morning to 9 at night and working my shift, right? So I'm getting like 3 hours of sleep. Now, I do this for weeks, and I get my paycheck, and it's like $800. I'm like, $800? This is really what happened. This is when I fell apart, right? Now, remember, I'm killing myself. Now I'm working 60, 80 hours, like expecting the fruits of my labor, right? So I get my check. I'm like, what's this? They're like, oh no, when you go out on the truck, you only get $11 an hour. I'm like, so I work here for $19.50 an hour. I work over my shift, do overtime, and you drop me to 11. They're like, yeah, well, I don't know, we'll figure it out. So, but they made me feel like they needed me because other people weren't doing it. They made me feel important. And they're like, could you work today? Could you work today? And I was angry, but I said yes, and I did it, right? And they're like, we're straightening out the pay. We'll figure out what it is. Then they're like, okay, well, you don't get overtime. You don't get time and a half, right? But you're going to get $19.50 an hour. I'm like, fuck it, whatever. All right, so I keep doing it, right? Then more time goes by, I get my paycheck. I look at the hours, I'm like, this don't add up. It's $17 an hour. Now it's 17. But I'm getting the wrong answer all the time. How do you go from 21 to 11? This is fucking what they, and I'm breaking my back, right? Then peak's over. Yeah, they hired me for $16.50. I get a paycheck, right? My paycheck is for $14.50 an hour. So I say, hey, you know, what's this? It says $14.50. You hired me for $16.50. They go, oh, well, they voted to lower the wage. The people, the Teamsters, the UPS drivers that drive the trucks, that we load their trucks to their specific liking and way, decided to lower our wage. They voted to lower your wage.
Like you specifically or in general?
The whole, everybody.
A vote that you weren't included in.
What'd you say?
A vote that you were
A
not
vote that I
included
wasn't
in.
included in. So who the fuck would ever in their life vote for anyone to have a lower wage? Now, I understand the politics thing. If you raise minimum wage, then it's just going to come from... I understand that. But let's talk about fucking UPS and breaking your ass, right? Let's talk about that specific subject, right? Back-breaking work. Loading your shit, and you voted to lower my wage. And, you know, I said... And that I quit.
Yeah.
And I started doing drugs, man. I was like, fuck this. And I love doing drugs, man. And like, you can only do that for so long, though, before you die or, like, whatever. But that's not what I want to live. I had to make major life decisions, man. And I had to figure out what was important to me, right? And who am I? I'm Charlie the motherfucking hustler, man. I'm a graffiti writer. Back to that. So I'm going to just stick to what I know, and I'm in this for good, yo. I need to, like, find my lane within our culture, which is like clothing and fucking hip hop, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I need skateboarding, all that shit. I need a break in life. I really just want to be an actor and like be in movies and you know, that type of shit. But I'm just sticking to this. There's no more painting houses and fucking making other people money. Oh, man.
You know what the craziest part is that you, and I feel like a lot of people, but you in specific, you don't need that much to be happy. You don't need that much to be good. But it's like, even, I think there's a misconception. It's like you work hard, you get your paycheck, and it's like, usually the hours you work don't always like reciprocate the paycheck that you're getting or the type of work you're doing. Like, even if you're doing back-breaking labor, they don't care. If it's minimum wage, it's minimum wage, and I don't care if you did overnight shifts. I don't care if you did 20 shifts in a row. I don't care if you didn't. And that's why we have so many unhealthy, mentally and spiritually unhealthy people in this place, bro.
If
you don't sleep enough, you get cooked.
I worked for the union, right? Another good job, right? I worked for the union. I got hurt, like hurt, right? Doing demolition. So you get what is that? Workers' comp, right?
Yeah.
They approve me. They send me the card in the mail. Never got the workman's comp, ever. I called. They gave me the runaround. This number, that number. I couldn't get it. Now, if I really would have, but I went hard. Don't get me wrong. Trust me, I wanted fucking money. I never received it. So God forbid, like, it was something that I could recover from. But if, like, say I hurt a vertebrae or something in my back and I was fucked up, like that nobody gives a fuck, and I'm not breaking my back for nobody. I'm not fucking changing my life for nobody. I'm not doing it, and I don't mean that in a bad way but I'm not having it, man. I'm not having it. I'm not answering a fucking. If I want to listen to fucking the song I want to listen to, I'm listening to the song I want to listen to. Now, there's compromises. You could compromise, but we're talking about everyday fucking affairs, man. I'm not living on like that.
No, it's very difficult, like working 9 to 5, especially if you wake up and you truly spiritually are drained. You know what I mean? Like doing that day to day, like yeah, you'll get through it physically, like you'll make that shift. But yo, every day you're like chipping away at your mental. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing plumbing since I was 18 years old. You know what I mean? I've had like bags under my eyes since I could remember. They joke around. It's funny. Like I've never even been a kid before. You know what I mean? It's pretty funny. But like if you, like I said, aren't interested in what you're doing, it's very difficult to keep going. You know what I mean? And like you said, it's very important to find out who you are, because even if you are making, let's say, top scale in a job and you are making like mad money every week, yeah, it's cool. It sounds nice. You are making money. You can do things. But then you're like, yo, is it even worth it sometimes?
What's the sense of having a fucking house, right? If you're going home and sleep, or going home and drinking some beers and fucking you're divorced, your wife left you because you like all this shit. You have this house that needs maintenance. Your grass needs to be cut. All this shit, right? So then you have weekends off. One whole day is dedicated to errands that you can't even really do on the weekends, right? You gotta do laundry, you gotta do all the shit, and then business hours, like for banks, everything is fucking closed. It's like, yo, the whole shit is a mess. I just felt like a slave, man. I feel like a slave, and you know what? I have an RV, man. I'm gonna go, if shit don't work out, wherever the fuck I'm at, I'm going to the desert, bro. I'm going to state parks. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm not fucking selling my soul and gonna be fucking some slave, miserable person.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say about that is, if you are in a job right now and like let's say you can't quit right now for whatever reason, you know what I mean? Like you don't have any other route.
Right.
I'd say like what I did personally, because I realized after a while, especially working non-union, yo, you're so expendable. It's not even funny. You're like a complete mule. If you drop dead, they'll literally have another guy to finish your shift that fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I've seen some crazy situations where literally someone would die, like, and they would try to like they would ask somebody to move the body or some shit. Yeah. So there's no accident report, no police investigation, just so they could keep making money. It's really crazy out there. But what I was trying to say is, if you are working, let's say, a trade or any job, you got to find something in that, what you're doing, because you're doing it every day, so you might as well have some type of interest in it. Find some type of art, some type of beauty in it, because like me personally, what I did with plumbing, I found a beauty to it in a way, like a beauty of getting used to the tools, a beauty of like doing things.
You're getting excited
about building your own shit, using your own mind. Don't get me wrong, the thing that ruins jobs, what I found, is other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they ruin
like
everything.
Other people's fucking attitude, other people's mood. Like, yo, like we'll start a shift at 7 a.m. and this guy's complaining already, bro. I'm like, yo.
Look, I try to be. Let me show you guys something, right? Let me show you something. So I was painting houses, right? I was painting houses. Now the guy thinks I'm nuts, right? That I'm painting houses for, right? Look at this bag. So I'm painting houses. So I'm a fucking painter. So I go all out, right? I buy a painter's bag, right? All my brushes are out, but this whole thing is packed full of the brand new brushes, bro. Because I want to be excited.
No,
man.
you really care. It shows that you care.
I want to be fucking excited. I want to be into it, man. But when you're telling me to pick you up at 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Because you have no license, I'm driving you, right, now to Home Depot to get your supplies, and then you're telling me, oh, you don't get paid till the paint hits the wall, right? Now the day ends, right? And now we got to go chase your checks. And I'm not getting paid for that either, right? So you're shaving hours. You're shaving 2-3 hours a day of my time, right? What does that add up to a week? 3 times 6, 12, 18 hours? That's almost a whole other motherfucking part-time job that you're taking from me, man. And that's what I mean. Like, people would nickel and dime you to death, man. It's not. I'd rather, like, bro, if I have to fucking sell shit on Etsy, I can make more in a day doing that than slaving. I realize that. right? Now, bless this mess is just a saying. And I adopted the saying, and we know where it comes from, right? But it became a part of my life because I got it tattooed on my head. So everybody's like, bless this mess, bless this mess, bless this mess Charlie. That became my nickname. And these are normal people that fucking don't know about BTM or any of that, right? So BTS, I adopted the bless this mess in specific saying that when I'm writing bless this mess, bless this mess, that's like from my heart. Like, that's my blessing. Like, I feel it's personal to me, right? But if I was to make bless this mess wood carvings and signs for houses, like, I could kill it. You know? So, but I'm just saying, I don't need to do that. There's a million other motherfucking things you could do. I'm creative, and you know. But, you know, I tried the T-shirt thing. I tried all that. There's no money in that.
So you quit UPS and you started doing drugs. Then when did you get clean and then to start deciding to, you know, I'm going to try this art thing?
Well, why I was working, okay. So everybody in the world knows I'm an artist but me. Everybody's like, Charlie, you need to have a YouTube. You need to be doing paintings. We love your art. You know, like, they consider this art. To me, it's fucking graffiti. I see the art in it because I make it artsy, I guess, now, because people keep calling it art. It's not so, like, dry. But, you know, so I'm advancing in, like, what I'm doing. Just naturally, I guess. But it does everything, you know, I'm affected by people and what they say. So, like, you know, if people tell you something enough times, you start to believe it. So I have a lot of people telling me they love my work. And it does show because when I post it, people love it, right? Damn, I'm getting lost.
I'm just wondering so you quit UPS, you started doing drugs, and when did you get clean?
So when I was working at UPS and when I quit UPS, there was a lot of downtime. And people were like, what the fuck are you doing, Charlie? Get on Instagram. You know who really lit the fire under me? Because when I quit UPS, I was depressed, man. I'm not the type of person that if I'm in a bad state of mind, I'm not going to sit there and paint a fucking picture. That's the last thing on earth I want to do. I have no motivation to do that, but everyone's always telling me to do it. So I was in a bad space, and I talked to Skid. You know what I'm saying? And Skid was like, Charlie, everybody loves your dog. You need to go back on Instagram with Coco, and you need to sell art. People, like, miss you. And that stayed in my head. And then I was, getting high and shit like that. And one day I woke up and I'm like, yo, what am I doing? I went to a meeting. I fucking picked up a white chip, put it on Instagram, which you're not supposed to do. And then I started going on Instagram and I came into the garage. I made an artist space on fucking sheetrock right here. But, you know, I have all my shit. And I started painting canvases and stickers, and they're selling. And I caught up on my RV. You helped me. You bought a painting to end. So I fell behind on my RV. You guys did a fundraiser for me. And then I started getting high. I fell behind again. And I got most of the money, and I was short, you know, some money, and you helped me out. Thank you. And damn, I'm so lost today.
How's it been going, making these paintings and receiving it? One thing actually, yeah. So what's your daily routine like now? So you live in the RV, you live in a calm neighborhood. You know, it's just kind of more, it's not like a cityscape, you know what I mean? Everything's nice and calm. So what's your daily routine like?
My daily routine is I wake up, I make a cup of coffee, I take Coco out right there to the yard, and I open up the garage door, and I start painting immediately before I brush my teeth, and I stay in here all day long. Just
making paintings?
All day. All day.
And how do you feel? You feel satisfied with this?
Yes, I'm very, very happy and excited. Yeah, I'm full of fucking, yeah, I love it. Yeah.
So in terms of like the money that you make from this art, like what do you usually use it for?
Well, first of all the money that I made so far, which I made a nice amount of money. I caught up on the RV. I paid my phone bill for a year because my phone got cut off when I was fucking, and I don't want that to happen again. I paid a phone bill for a year. That cost a lot of money. And, It goes to like my living. Like obviously, I don't have food stamps. I have to pay for my food. I have to pay for Coco's food, gas. I filled up my gas tank the other day. I put that shit on Instagram. $140. I mean, which I don't drive that much, so that shit lasts me a minute. But like now, what I want to do is I want to like I'm remodeling my RV and making it more like a home.
That's actually something too. Yeah. What are you remodeling it with? What are you doing with that?
Well, I've done a lot since you've seen it last. It's changed a lot. I do have like real solar. I have mad solar on my roof, and I have like a nice battery system. I still need more batteries. I need 2 more batteries, but they're expensive. They're $2 a piece. But I'm gonna put up pine. You know, I want to do my ceiling. RVs are made like shit. My roof, I seen like water coming in when it rained. I have to redo my roof. By the end of the summer. I don't want to have winter like that. I got that fireplace right there. I want to install the fireplace, but that's just a straight run up that I got to get the pipe in for it. But everything goes to like making the RV into a home. So obviously, you see I painted the back of it. That's painted army fatigue. I hate it. I'm gonna, I guess when tomorrow I'm gonna prime the whole thing, and I'm gonna paint it. The paint brand Bear. There's a black. I think it's called bamboo black, eggshell, and it looks incredible. Like when I seen other RVs done that way. So I want to put wood on the outside and like have it painted and like the way my air conditioner. I want to fix it up. I want to put like windowsills and make my windows square instead of round. Like this is really my fucking home. I just redid the floor. I'm not a carpenter by any means. If you see, you know, everybody's seen, but it's in sections. I stained the plywood. It looks sick. Then I put another flat piece over it, and I put some rugs, but it's strong. Now the floor is strong. Now the roof, if you put your knee on the roof, you'll fucking fall through it. That's crazy to me, especially I have solar panel. I need to like get 1 inch, you know, weather treated plywood, and I need to like do my roof.
So in terms of the solar power and the batteries that cost $2 a piece, how did you learn about all this stuff? Was it just through books, through online? Like, how did you learn about it and then start applying
I mean, you know, it's funny. Well, the brand is like this is an old thing, but this is like a little pack, right? So this could charge off solar, right? But this is Blue Eddy, and they make the best batteries, right? So I'll show you the system inside. This is just, you know, to charge my phone and shit, but you could probably charge your phone like with this.
So the solar goes into that?
Yeah, you could plug a solar panel into this and it would charge. Okay. Everything I have is like rechargeable batteries. Yeah, and I get the power from the sun, man. I harness the power from the sun. I am the solar god.
Is there any, what's like the max level? Is there any way that you could be fully independent from like a power source and you just get it all from solar?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get. But I'm halfway there. I have 1,100 watts of solar. That's a lot. But I need like 2,500 watts.
So what's the RV payment?
$178 a month.
But I'm saying, like, what does that come from? Like, just paying off the RV, or? Yeah, so I
took a loan. My credit, when I lived in Florida, I did very well. I was able to build my credit. So somebody gave me a loan for $24,000. And I bought the check to the RV place, and I paid cash for the RV, or not cash, like check, whatever. But, you know, I owe the bank the money, and they always like want to repo my RV if I miss payments. Obviously, it's like a car. Yeah, they come looking for this shit.
I was actually,
yeah, no, that's it.
No, I was just actually gonna ask you, do you think that like van life, RV living is the closest thing to, let's say, quote unquote freedom? Because it seems nowadays, like even if you build a house from ground up alone with your hands, it's not completely yours.
I know.
You still got to pay property taxes. Like, it doesn't feel like it's your shit, which is pretty disappointing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, especially if you have neighbors like that like don't they could like, man, they cannot like little fire pits. They could freak out about that. Like if you have neighbors like that, you know, there's all types of you're dealing. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. You would have to like a homeowners association. You can't even, you know, paint your garage a different color. Like there's all these rules and regulations a fucking, you know, I don't know. It's like, you know, once I own the RV, I owe $11,000 on it. I get $11,000, I own the RV. I'm going to reinforce that thing. That thing's going to last forever. Trust me. I'm making it. Even if I had to put fucking, I thought about putting up like steel beams in the inside.
Some Mad Max shit.
And yeah, and fucking making that shit like fucking, you know what I mean? Like solid. It's pretty, you know, it's not as solid as I would like it to be. But I'm going to get it there. And that's the goal. My goal is to turn that thing into a fucking real house. Mm-hmm. Like, so my bathroom door, right? This is something else I want to do. You ask me the shit I want to do. You open the bathroom door, you know, there's a shower, I have my washer machine and the toilet. I want, when you open the door, I want that to be all tiled. I just want to walk in shower with 2 fucking shower heads, you know, bamboo. Like, this is very easy to do. This is not, like, hard, but it costs money. So to do that to the bathroom, it probably costs 2 G's. Right? Who the fuck has 2 G's? Like, I gotta get it.
Would you ever think about, I know you already said you'd move it to the desert, but have you ever thought about, even just without things going wrong, just moving this RV to a whole different place and just living completely off the grid? And when you do live off the grid, you pretty much need to have that solar.
I do.
In a way that it's like you do not need a plug-in power source.
Right. Well, yeah. I would have to, you know what it is? I've been mentally unstable. I don't feel like without long-term stability, right? And getting really like being on track for a while, I don't feel like I should be traveling around in a bad mindset. You know, you go out, you know, I hop in my fucking RV and I wind up going to fucking Tennessee, stopping at a truck stop and some girl and she fucking pulls out a meth pipe and fucking, you know what I mean? It's not even my thing, but you'll make bad decisions. Mm-hmm. You know, you could make like, you know, you're lonely on the road, like, you know, you got to be spiritually fit in anything you're doing. You got to be spiritually fit if you're working at UPS. You got to be spiritually fit if you're shoveling shit. You got to be spiritually fit if you're rich. Mm-hmm. You gotta be right in here and here. And it starts with, you know, the spiritual is the most important part. Yeah,
you always talk about how with less stuff you're happy, because with less stuff you have less stuff that you have to have maintenance for. And we talked to a bunch of writers, and like Dax being one of them, like Dr. Dax, and he says like the same thing. Like it was his big car and fancy clothes that made people want to rob him. Then he's going out with a gun to protect his shit because he doesn't want anyone taking his shit.
I went through the same thing.
Then he realizes that, whoa, I actually am happier if I just drive this like different car that no one gives a shit about.
That's exactly what I did. I you know, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but that's what happened. I had a Rolex, the Lexus, Gucci sneakers, all the vintage polo. I'd hop out the car. It wasn't like girls were looking at me. It was dudes like, yo, motherfucker, you got a Rolex? What? You know,
But do you think that everybody would be happier that way? Because there's people who are like...
I don't believe I believe everybody has their lane. Mm-hmm. You need to stay in your lane. There's people, we need all types of people. We need people that like Lamborghinis. Why? I don't know off the top of my head. But we need those people because they're driven for success, which means, you know, I know that Elon Musk is like my hero, right? And when I talk to him about, to some of my friends that live a certain lifestyle, you know, they like, you know, he don't pay taxes. I don't know. The dude's giving us fucking, you know, he's building tunnels underground in LA to traffic. He's taking us to fucking, you know, like, bro, Starlink is a satellite. It's a satellite, right? Like this big. Mm-hmm. You take it, you put it anywhere outside, it goes, finds the satellite, high-speed internet. It's $700 for the satellite and $110 a month. Now, I don't think that ever goes out, like satellite if there was like a crisis like internet will. I don't know about satellites, but I mean, like, the dude is doing so much shit, like, I love him, you know. I don't know, but anyway. But yeah, Dr. Dax, I know I was supposed to talk to him. Or we were supposed to do something together, I think, mm-hmm. podcast. I don't know if it's yours. But yeah, I was on the same shit. I get it.
In terms of living in the RV, and not only just there, but all over the place. You've lived so many different scenarios. You've lived in a bunch of different places.
This is the best way I ever lived. Here, you want to go see?
What if, let's, because then now we're going to have to bring this, but we'll definitely go in there. But I was just wondering, the stuff that you've learned, like I remember last time you were telling us that you learned how much water you actually need. Then there's stuff like called gray water. Then there's this filter that you can actually reuse the water. You become more conservative with your water, and you're not wasting the shit. What are the other types of things that you've learned just through living that way? Because people are so used to, including myself, just turning the faucet, not even realizing how much water is being used, you know?
Yeah, so like I don't really use any electricity like almost at all. Like all day it's sunny and nice, right? Like right now you don't need an air conditioner on. That's why like solar's good for, air conditioner. But there's other ways that, bro, all right. So like a fan, right? Like oh my God, there's so much shit, bro. You could get copper coil, wrap it around the fan, get a pump and ice water, and it turns a fan to an air conditioner. Like a real fucking air conditioner. It's very simple to do, and you could just do that with ice water. Now the thing is, like, it's always like leads. The reason why I'm so interested in this RV living shit is because there's always another step, and I'm gonna get there to where I'm fully. But as soon as you get one thing like locked down, it's like a give and take constantly. So and it's bugged out, and like even like the way I rearranged, it's such a small space that I had to rearrange it a million times, and I had to learn what I use and what I don't use, and like we were talking about everyday living. This ain't like some camp shit like we throw a bag in it and you're like I'm living in a fucking 100-foot square space, and that includes a bathroom. I'm not going in there. So I mean, like, I live in like 60 square feet. So I mean, I learned a lot about solar, and it's amazing that if I had enough solar, if I had like 15 more 100 watts, and 2 more batteries, I could be fully independent. Now we're getting down to water. Now you could capture rainwater. It's illegal.
That's illegal?
It's illegal to
Why?
To harvest your own water, because you have to be hooked up to the grid. You can't. It's illegal to just have solar. You cannot own a home and just have this battery system and solar. You have to be tied into the grid. They have to get their money. It is a federal crime.
That's crazy. I was actually wondering.
You can't even farm on your own land.
That's crazy.
I can't. You see how big that yard is? I can't grow corn there.
So they have we have a useful technology in solar that you can't even use.
Yeah.
Like to the full way that you might want.
Yeah, I mean that's why so Nikola Tesla, I don't know when he lived, right? Because I'm not like a fucking nerd. I just know this information that he had like Wi-Fi back then, free internet back then, like free electricity. He had the whole planet would have had free electricity, and they like killed him or whatever.
It's not beneficial, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody got to eat, and like everybody. Listen. The bottom line is this is fuck all that shit. The bottom line is we are just ants and little worker bees, and that's it. And I'm not living that way, man. I'm not no worker bee. I'd rather be dead, bro. No, I love life, but I'll do what it takes just to scrape by. Then I'm not just gonna give up. Fucking.
Yeah.
I like being.
Honestly, I've been thinking.
I enjoy the show. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I've been thinking a lot about it, and I really do think that keeping it simple, keeping it basic, is so key in our capitalist society with how expensive everything is. You fill up the gas one time, and it's cool because thinking about this, if you really have that solar shit to the full level, and you pay off the RV, what's your payments? Food.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're just minimizing the stuff that you have to worry about.
That's what I'm trying to get.
That's I think super key. And it's funny because a lot of Buddhism and shit, they've been talking about this type of shit. Like a bunch of the enlightened beings, I'm putting in quotes for people who are listening only. They talk about that shit too. And I think I think there's definitely some sort of wisdom in that. And it's so they pay. Like companies have a huge budget to make people want to buy the extra stuff. Because I've had these vans literally for 7 years, and like they last forever.
Yeah,
like
I have these since 2015.
Yeah.
I bought these shits for $400 because I love the colors. I got them from Flight Club.
Yeah, like
But like I wear them every day. I've been wearing them since 2015, 7 years.
like if everyone just got their one pair, then the system wouldn't work anymore. Like there's no one buying extra shoes. You
No,
always
and-
need
and
people
like-
to want stuff.
I understand that certain things need to go down, right?
Yeah.
For things to progress.
Mm-hmm.
But they super OD. Now it's like it's just greed and out of hand greed, and it's just getting worse. I mean, it's not getting better.
That's why living in a space like that, I feel like you really learn to appreciate what you have, because I was looking into van life last year, like really looking into it, and a lot of videos that I watched, they talk about how you start off with a bunch of shit, right?
Yeah,
and then progressively you start
yeah.
filtering out shit because you realize you don't need all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll show you everything. Like I don't have
Yeah.
nothing, but I'm gonna be honest with you, my friend, right? Caitlin, what's up? My friend has a van, and I never been in a van before that somebody lives in, like a converted van, and it is fucking small.
Yeah.
So I've been watching van conversions every day, hours every single day since 2016. Right? And that's where I learned the stuff from, watching these people. Like, I would never watch another van conversion again on the fact of, like, living in a van. Now, if you had an RV and a van, that is the shit. Because you could take the solar from your RV on the weekends, put it in the van, right? So you put, like, solar panels on the roof of the van, but you could take the battery system. You put it right in there, and even your bed, like my bed's like a foldable certain bed, that could go in the van. Like, you could do that, and it's cool for the weekends to get away. Like, I couldn't live in a van for years. The RV is like a tiny home to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I did have a wife and did have a kid, you could still do it, but you'd have to have a bigger RV. I like my little RV. It's nice and cozy. Oh, tonight we're gonna get some night shots. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll give you the full feel if you stick around. You know
Cool.
what I mean?
But yeah, man, I just want to say thanks once again for coming on the show. We're definitely gonna, film some stuff in your RV, show the people what like the changes you made, all the shit you got going on, bro.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see you doing your thing, man. I really hope it goes good, and if we can help at all, is
No, yeah, I get it. I just, this is to everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? I love you, motherfuckers, man. And there's a lot of people that show me a lot of love, and I appreciate it greatly. So, there's this dude, James from Staten Island. I won't say your last name, but he's the guy. He like lit a fire in me. It was like, Charlie, you're an artist. That's what you are. I want a train map. How much do you charge for a train map, right? So I talked to some people about train maps. I put a lot of time and effort into it. We're talking a lot of hours, right? And they were like, yo, you need to charge, like, this is from multiple people. Like, oh, yeah, like what they charge, like $50 an hour. And I'm like, damn, if I was to charge that, my train map would be fucking, like, if I'm putting in fucking days of work, I'm doing it like, working on them 6-8 hours a day, 12 hours for 3 days, something like that, right? That would be a lot of money. So I told the dude's like, well, what should you charge, whatever? And I was like, well, I was told 50 an hour. He's like, I'm going to give you 50 an hour. I was like, damn. And, I used to sell them a lot cheaper. And I feel like, I don't know. Yo, shipping's so much money, bro.
shipping is crazy.
I sell the shit for $150. I mean, bro, do you know how much, like, the supplies are? Like, I don't rack. I can't rack. I walked into the store the other day. Lady, like, followed me around the whole store. But, yeah, the supplies and shipping, even driving there, the post office is bad far from here. Like, I mean, it's just, it costs money. Sometimes I don't know. You're charging $150, and it really comes out to, like, I don't know. It could be 80 to 120, So I need...
Especially out of country.
Yeah,
Out of country is insane.
I went to go mail something to the UK. They ordered one print. So I framed the print for them. I gave them, because it's the UK, so I gave them New York City train maps, postal stickers, blank ones. But I just filled the box. But it was small. It wasn't that heavy. It was like fucking I don't know, whatever. And they wanted $200 to ship it. I was like, fuck that. I took it back. I took the print out. I got to put it in an envelope and go to the post office and just send it regular. But, you know, they bought the print for $50. Now what is it going to cost me to, I don't even know. But they get it. It's still worth, even if I take the loss. I make sure when people get something from me, they get it. Yeah.
Yo, thank you, man. And it's like you said earlier, anyone that's living in this capitalist society, it's important to stay spiritually grounded.
Yep.
So remember that.
It's the most important part, man.
Yeah.
You got to be spiritually fit.
Peace.
Peace.